So our topic shall be the components of the ecosystem. In the earlier lectures, we discussed about the concept of ecosystem. Then in the second very lecture, we discussed about the alternative terms which were given to explain the concept of ecosystem. And in this lecture, in this third lecture, we shall be discussing the components of ecosystem. As in the previous lecture, I have already told you that the ecosystem is composed of two main components, that's the abiotic components and the biotic components. So first of all, we shall deal with the abiotic components. These are the non-living components of any ecosystem. So the abiotic components are the non-living components of ecosystem. So these abiotic components are of following types. It is the temperature. You see that in any given ecosystem there is a definite and distinct temperature, and this temperature is the abiotic component of the ecosystem. Then there is solar radiations in the form of light. This is another abiotic component. Then there is wind. Then there is humidity. Humidity means the water content present in the atmosphere, and it is also the abiotic component of the ecosystem. Then water, then the geographic topography of an area, it's also included in the abiotic components. The different gases which are present in the ecosystem, they also form abiotic components. Then again, soil, very important component of the ecosystem, pH, and the mineral elements which are present in the ecosystem, all these togetherly form the non-living components of the ecosystem, which we again call as the abiotic components. Then after that, we shall move on towards the biotic components of the ecosystem. The biotic components are the living components of the ecosystem. The biotic components include those components of the ecosystem which are living. It means it includes the living organisms which are present in a given ecosystem. So the biotic components are the living components, and there are following types. The producers are also known as the converters or transducers. The producers are the green plants, the photosynthetic bacteria and the chemosynthetic bacteria. ये सारे वो ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं एक इकोसिस्टम में जो फोटोसिंथेसिस कैरी आउट करते हैं. दे कैरी आउट फोटोसिंथेसिस. एज अ रिजल्ट they are autotrophs, and they convert the solar energy into the chemical energy. That's why we call these producers also as the converters or the transducers. So the first component of the biotic this so the first biotic component of the ecosystem is the producers, also known as transducers or converters. They convert the solar energy into the chemical energy by the help of photosynthesis. The examples of producers are green plants, photosynthetic bacteria, and chemosynthetic bacteria. Then there are consumers. The consumers feed upon the producers. So the producers produce the food, but the consumers do not produce the food. They are heterotrophic. They feed upon these producers. The consumers are of following types. The primary consumers. The consumers which directly feed upon the plants, as the cattle for example, they are known as the primary consumers. The other name for the primary consumers is the herbivores. The primary consumers are also known as the first order consumers because they directly feed upon the producers. That's why the primary consumers are also known as first order consumers. Then there are there are secondary consumers. These feed on either producers or they feed on the primary consumers or the herbivores. तो सेकेंडरी कंज्यूमर्स में वो एनिमल्स आएंगे जो या तो डायरेक्टली फीड करते हैं हर्बीवोर्स पर या तो प्रोड्यूसर्स पर फीड करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल फ्रॉग, कैट, डॉग. देन टर्शरी कंज्यूमर्स, दीज आर द टॉप ऑर्डर कंज्यूमर्स. सबसे टॉप ऑर्डर के कंज्यूमर्स हैं ये. दे आर आल्सो नोन एज प्रीडेटर्स. एग्जांपल इनमें है लायन है, टाइगर है एंड वुल्चर. इसके बाद प्रोड्यूसर्स के बाद कंज्यूमर्स आर ऑफ थ्री टाइप्स: प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी एंड टर्शरी. देन देयर आर डिकम्पोजर्स. जो भी डेड बॉडीज़ रहती हैं, डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर रहता है इन्वायरमेंट में, उसको डिकम्पोज करने के लिए कुछ माइक्रोब्स काम करते हैं और उस डेड मटीरियल को डिस्पोज करते हैं. दैट्स वाई दे आर आल्सो नोन एज डिकम्पोजर्स और दे आर आल्सो नोन एज डिस्पोजर्स. They can also be known as scavengers. Sometimes they are also known as transformers. They help in recycling of the mineral matter. ये जो डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर होता है उसको वो डिकम्पोज करके फिर एक बार रिसाइकल करते हैं. सो दिस इज़ अबाउट द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम.